Mr. Speaker, extreme weather is climate change unfolding before our very eyes. This past weekend, the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area, recorded temperatures in the 90s and 100s, a far cry from our usual temperate summer weather. My region wasn't the only part of the country feeling the heat. The month of July has been a scorcher for the whole country, with no end in sight. In fact, the 4th of July was one of the hottest days on Earth in at least 50 years, a record that scientists said would have been virtually impossible without climate change. The story doesn't end with heat waves. Other climate disasters like severe storms and wildfires have been and will continue to be more intense and more frequent. Earlier this year, atmospheric rivers and devastating flooding pummeled my district, nestled between the Pacific Ocean and the San Francisco Bay, causing millions of dollars in damage. Many Americans can afford to shield their properties from climate disasters and have done so over the years. But families who are already struggling to make ends meet are often left behind. This is especially true for households of color, many of whom live in more disaster-prone areas. We need to ensure everyone, regardless of their income, can shield their properties against the most devastating consequences of climate change. That's why I introduced the Weatherization, Resilience, and Adaptation Program, or WRAP Act, along with 20 of my colleagues from across the country, from California, but also Texas, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Ohio, and Michigan. We stand together. My bill would help low-income homeowners, affordable housing providers, and mobile home communities harden their property so they are more resilient to climate-driven natural disasters. Homeowners would get help to pay for things like double-pane windows, heat-resistant roofing, artificial berms and dunes, and more. The Biden administration recently announced a nearly $1 billion investment through the Inflation Reduction Act that will assist the owners of federally subsidized affordable housing buildings in becoming more resilient to climate disasters. The WRAP Act would build on this historic action by helping individual property owners and the owners of other types of low-income housing who are left out of the IRA program. It's unfortunate that climate resilience building measures are seen through a partisan lens. The reality is far different. Climate disasters don't distinguish between so-called red states and blue states. We are all impacted. Congress has the opportunity to shield our most vulnerable communities before disaster strikes. With that, I yield back, Mr. Speaker.